Conor Gallagher finally is going to Atletico Madrid. Chelsea news as Enzo Fernandez arrived in camp and apologizes. Two outgoing for Arsenal. Who might it be? And also Manchester United are still in the market. Rabiot is desperate to play in the Premier League, whilst Osimhen finally there has been a contact with Napoli. There has been a discussion with Napoli regarding Osimhen then Romelu Lukaku. If you just join us and you are new, remember to hit the subscription button, like and share the video. And here with Sami, Emmanuel, and Eddie, we will give you more details into the update of the transfer news. And if you just join us, remember it is Real Madrid, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, and also, Barcelona transfer news and updates are here. Arsenal, their outgoings are actually interesting for sure. Smith Rowe, finally, it's almost done and it's almost completed for Smith Rowe to Fulham United. What do you think about that deal as Arsenal fan? Because your midfield, we all know there was a lot of players into the midfield. Is it going to affect Arsenal midfield or is just going to be perfect as he didn't get much playing time last year?
Yeah, for me, it's a bit disappointing that a young kid of his caliber, who had a lot of potential to play for the Arsenal team, couldn't live up to expectation. I think injuries along the way worried him very much, and players also coming into the team made Arteta sideline him, and it affected his play. I think it's a new step for him. It's another step in his football career that he can also take. We saw players moving from their teams and going to other teams to like be top talents. Martin Odegaard, for instance, was on the bench of Real Madrid. He joined Real Sociedad. Later on, he came to Arsenal and he's now performing. There's players like maybe Thomas Partey, who wasn't like instrumental in Atletico Madrid team, also came to Arsenal, and we saw his full potential. So maybe moving to Fulham will just open another door for him. He's a young kid who has a potential. We saw him when he entered the team with Bukayo Saka. For Bukayo Saka, he's now playing at the top, and he's now like the core part of the core of the team. So maybe he moving to Fulham. I don't know whether Marco Silva is still around. Maybe Marco Silva will just help the guy and develop his talent.
We all saw that he's a talent because that was why he was handed over the number 10 jersey. But then it just not working due to an injury. And well, talking about transfer news for sure. And Eddie, what is really happening with Manchester United? We all know that Wan-Bissaka, United has been waiting to offload Wan-Bissaka before going into the Masrao deal. But then Masrao have joined Bayern Munich in Asia, yeah? And now it looks like West Ham, a few moments, they will be completing that deal. What do you think about it? Do you think, Masrao coming in?
All right. So with the news concerning Manchester United, we are now in the market for players, and definitely we have to also offload some players. And Wan-Bissaka has been one of the solid defense for Manchester United. For defensively, he is very good, but offensively, he has been poor. But with that Wan-Bissaka joining West Ham, I think it won't be any struggles for him because you already know the to and fro of the Premier League, how the leagues, everything goes. And with our player for Mazraoui, I think definitely we're going to get him to replace Wan-Bissaka. So I think it's not a problem for Manchester United offloading Wan-Bissaka. Definitely we are in the market to get a replacement for him. So it's definitely a big.
Sami, talking about Nico Williams, last we were talking about him staying at Atletico Bilbao. It looks like finally he has agreed to stay at the club. What do you think about that?
Yeah, so the last time we spoke, I told that it was a matter of 60% and 40%. And as the days draw near, we see the silence from Nico Williams. Officially, he has not said anything yet, but still, with the speculations coming out, indicates that he was going to stay at Bilbao. So it's a very complicated deal, especially looking at the way Atletico Bilbao is using his family to get him to stay. It's going to be very difficult and emotional. So right now, I'm still waiting for the final official statement from him. And yeah, as a Barca fan, is hurtful, but maybe there's miracle somewhere.
Chelsea, Ima, you might be very, very happy with the situation at Chelsea, being an Arsenal fan. Enzo Fernandez have arrived in camp and he has apologized, and also he said that he is going to be participating or contributing to the fight for racism in football. And I think the apology have been accepted, but majority of, I don't know whether media are thinking that that apology might not be accepted. But then in camp, everything is calm, everything have been solved, and the Capitano, which is Rhys James, and also Disasi, has been the people leading that campaign, as he said. What do you think about that story?
I think on the player side, it's a step in the right direction to apologize to his teammates and also like the supporters in general. But for the players to accept the apology, that one is up to them. We can do everything on camera, and you guys will just hug and everything. But behind the cameras, they will still have this, perception about you, whether they've accepted the apology or not. I think they are just doing all these things to, get the fans back and, unite the team. But it's up to the player because they have, I think, about 2 or 3 French players also in the team. And, sometimes you can do everything. Once you've already dented, maybe one of them was even his friend or something, that friendship is now not going to be the same as before. So I think for the cameras, it's a good thing he did. And, he contributing to the fight against racism too is also another good thing. But for the players to, be that kind of guy with him before, like how they were bonding and everything, that's up to the players. For me, I think they're professionals and they can just handle these things in the way that will just help the club and help them too.
Conor Gallagher to Atletico Madrid. Negotiations are on underway, and Chelsea have agreed to reduce the price because it's Atletico Madrid, 30 to 40 million. What do you think about that?
Yeah, personally, I think it's a good move, and he has to leave Chelsea because he loves the club. We've all seen how he's fighting when anytime he wears the badge, he fights for the badge. But then I think the way Chelsea is treating him, personally, I'm not a Chelsea fan, but I'm not happy about it. To
I
have,
think all Chelsea fans are not happy about the situation.
yeah, to have someone from the academy who love the club that much and he's trying to stay, but then Chelsea's always and forever pushing him out. Atletico Madrid will be a good fit for him. But then, as sources close to me saying that Tottenham too are in their height, they want to also come and push and see if they can get him. These two clubs, Atletico Madrid and Tottenham, they have a specific kind of pressing game that they play. And with a player like Conor, he's going to help both teams. But then, for me, as a Barca fan, I want to see him the La Liga, so it will promote more quality in the La Liga.
Eddie, Manchester United pushing for Rabiot. Right now, it looks like they are speaking with the agent. They are optimistic that they can land the player as part of their midfielders quest. What do you think about that?
All right, so Adrian Rabiot is definitely a good player and has the quality. So for him to be linked to Manchester United, I think we should be happy. And Manchester United, although we have a couple of players in our midfield, but they are still not enough to compete for the title this season. Now we are rebuilding, and I think the player has also shown interest in Manchester United, and I think all that we are hoping for is that it's going to be a successful deal.
Arsenal outgoings, and hey, Eddie Nketiah is actually on his way out. It looks like Marseille have improved their bit in quest for Eddie Nketiah. Do you think it's a right move for Arsenal since they haven't had that elite striker?
Yeah, for me, I think the guy should just consider this move and join Marseille. I don't think you'll get a chance in the Arsenal team. For me, the way Arteta is playing his football, sometimes switching midfielders into that position, like Havertz, for instance, last season playing as a centre forward, he doesn't have any plan for the kid, And as young as he is, he can be like one of the best strikers in England. You get it. So I think he should just leave his comfort zone. Like we've seen players moving from England and doing better. Jadon Sancho, for instance, Jude Bellingham, Dortmund. He can just also go to Marseille. We've seen like the French football. It's not that like competitive, and there's not a lot of pressure over there. So joining Marseille and developing with time will just help him. Sitting on the bench will not help his career. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang too has left the club, so there's a spot for him over there. So when he goes, I'm sure he's going to start the games for the club.
Meanwhile, is it that Barcelona is coming back, or what is actually happening in this preseason? And it looks like they have won their game against, or it was 2-2 for sure.
Yeah.
And I think they played penalties where Barcelona won the game. And hey, that's a massive move from Barcelona for sure. And let's see what is going to happen come this season. Mantle of Osimhen-Lukaku deal. What a massive deal is going to happen. Napoli are requesting about 60 to 70 million in addition to Lukaku for Chelsea to get the services of Osimhen. Victor Osimhen is ready to join, but he is not ready for a loan move. Even if it is a loan, it should be compulsory by option. What do you think about the move?
I think the move was supposed to be done long ago, especially looking at both teams having a like for the different players. You've seen that Conte wants Lukaku, whilst Chelsea wants Victor. So this move should have been done long ago, but due to the asking price of Napoli, that's what made it complicated. I think now the pressure coming to Napoli has made Napoli be able to calm down the price and also try to renegotiate their ways with Chelsea and get the deal done. Now, one thing you should also know is that PSG came into the limelight. PSG wanted Victor. That brought a little scare with Napoli because PSG was not willing to pay that amount of money Napoli wanted. Now Chelsea is in firm talks. Lukaku too is going to the team that he wants to play under Conte. That's Napoli. So I think it's a fair deal for both sides. But then the agent of Victor came out and boldly said that there is not going to be any loan deal. That means his player doesn't want to go for any loan, or that's not why that's the case. If they are buying him outright. If the payment plan is going to be a different way, then that's fine. But it's not going to be a loan deal. And I think that's also good for Victor Osimhen, knowing that he has his career tied down to Chelsea. So I think it's a good win-win for both teams, and let's see how both of them proceeds.
Let's see how both of them will proceed for sure. And hey, Galatasaray actually contacted Manchester United for Scott McTominay, and they have offered 12.6 million. Meanwhile, Manchester United want double of that. Eddie, what do you think about that deal? Because you are offloading the player and they have come in. You want double of that. What do you think about that transfer?
Scott McTominay in general have been a very good player, and for Galatasaray to come for him, I think is a good deal for Galatasaray. But the price they are bringing on board isn't something we appreciate. Coming for such a caliber of player with 12 point something, I think it's not a good price, or it's not a good tag for McTominay. 20 or 40 or 30 would be enough.
Arsenal are still offloading their strikers. Chido Martin, a free agent as Arsenal young striker, is going to complete a deal to Manchester United as a free agent. What do you think?
I think some of the players I've seen that there's no like proper plan for them to be brought to the senior team. So now they are just taking matters into their own hands. And I think this due to Ruud van Nistelrooy played an instrumental role in bringing the kid. He spoke to the kid, as young as he is, like speaking to Ruud van Nistelrooy, for instance, will just make sure like you're coming to Manchester United, you get a starting spot in the team. Mind you, Manchester United have Rasmus Højlund and Zexi. So he thinks maybe their project they are about to do, they will need the kids to function. Like it's a good move. For me, I think there's no proper plan for us now. He's not getting any playing time because Aiden Ketia is already on the bench. So you in the academy, you don't have any like believe that the team will just call you for you to be starting games or playing for the senior team. So for me, if he will only get the starting spot or like even be on the bench for Manchester United and understudy those two strikers, we wish him all the best. Yeah, we can't just. For me, I think I've seen that some of the Arsenal supporters attacking him under his post and everything. It's needless. The guy he can take decision for himself. He's a player. He feels like this is what I want to do at this moment. So just allow the boy to go and play for Manchester United. Yes.
Sammy, just a summary. Last Ugarte. It's like he has been waiting for a couple of weeks now, agreed personal terms with Manchester United, and then it looks like Manchester United is not keen on that deal as well. And now PSG is open for a loan deal with obligatory buy option. What do you think about that?
PSG, they themselves, they realized that they made a very big mistake because having a player and not using the player, and a team like Manchester coming to bid for the player, they rightfully ignored them and rejected the bid. now that we've seen that there are a lot of midfielders linked to the likes of Manchester United, they now know that there's no other option. So they have to lower their price and let this young guy go. But you know that Ugarte is a player that anybody who has Ugarte, it's unfortunate that the Ugarte we used to know last season was not able to function like that. But if he's been able to join Manchester United, I think it's going to really help the defensive nature of Manchester United. But then, until then, I don't trust PSG. So let's see how it pans out in the next future.
Thank you very much, guys, for watching. Thank you very much for your time. And if you just join us and you are new, hey, hit the subscription button, like and share the video, and your opinions are highly welcome. And we'll see you in the next video.